Steam rises from a dirty food cart on a rainy street corner. No name, no logo, just an old man in a torn chef's coat stirring something with the grace of a maestro. Across the street, people laugh as they film him. Who'd eat from a homeless? Guy! One scoffs. But behind that laughter is a man whose hands once plated meals for presidents. And today, without knowing it, a world-famous food critic is about to take one bite that will rewrite his legacy forever. Because sometimes greatness hides where you least expect it, under a bridge, in the rain, behind a ladle. Elias was once the pride of the culinary world, a Michelin-starred chef whose plates were not merely meals, but masterpieces. His cuisine was considered art, crafted with discipline, creativity, and an uncompromising attention to detail. Patrons would wait months for a reservation, and critics praised his ability to blend flavors like poetry in motion. He was a perfectionist, driven by passion and haunted by excellence. But that life ended the night tragedy struck. A fire erupted in the early hours of the morning. It consumed not only his award-winning restaurant, but also his home and the family he loved more than anything. The flames stole everything, leaving Elias with ashes, silence, and memories he could never escape. Overwhelmed by grief and guilt, he vanished from public life without a trace. Years later, he reappeared, not in a kitchen, but on a street corner. Now Elias lives homeless, pushing a rusted handmade food cart built from discarded parts. He wears a torn, faded chef's coat and sleeps under bridges. Yet, every single day, without fail, he cooks. Not for money, not for fame, but for purpose. With broken hands and an undying spirit, he prepares simple but soul-stirring meals for anyone. Hungry enough to stop and taste, he uses whatever ingredients he can gather, donated vegetables, leftover rice, a pinch of hope. He treats each dish as sacred, no matter how humble. To some he is just another drifter, but to a small group of regulars he is something more. They call him Chef Ghost. He does not speak of his past. He does not explain the scars on his hands or the weight in his eyes. Most people walk past him without a second glance, but those who stop, they taste something unforgettable, something they cannot explain. Elias lives in a world that barely acknowledges his presence. Each day he faces ridicule, suspicion, and dismissal. Passers-by wrinkle their noses as they walk past his food cart. Some throw away the meals he prepares without even tasting them. Others accuse him of using spoiled ingredients, or, more cruelly, of attempting to poison the people he serves. He remains silent, but inside, the wounds deepen. Memories from his former life return without warning. Flashbacks of pristine white tablecloths, the warm applause of high-profile critics, the delicate clink of silverware, and the echo of his wife's laughter dancing through the kitchen. They come back to him like ghosts, beautiful, unbearable, and untouchable. There is a soup kitchen not far from where Elias sets up his cart. The volunteers there offer him shelter, clean clothes, and 3 meals a day. But he refuses. For Elias, comfort without dignity is hollow. He believes that his hands were made to create, to serve, and to earn whatever respect life still has to offer. He continues cooking even when no one comes. Then, one afternoon, a group of online content creators approaches. They are loud, sarcastic, and armed with cameras. They order food from Elias and pretend to compliment it, mocking him subtly, then overtly. Their video, titled "We Tried Food from a Homeless Chef," is posted online. Within hours, it goes viral, not because of the food, but because of the ridicule. People laugh, they share, they forget. But Elias does not. That night, he stares at the few leftovers he was unable to give away. He does not touch them. He does not sleep. He sits motionless, questioning everything. Perhaps the world is right. Perhaps he truly has become invisible. A ghost with no name, no voice, and no purpose. He considers never cooking again. Among the noise and indifference of the world around him, Elias begins to notice one person who is different. Her name is Clara. She is a soft-spoken woman who visits his cart once every week. She never mocks him. She never looks down on his cart or questions the ingredients. She finishes every plate with silent gratitude and offers a quiet nod before leaving. She does not ask about his past, but she respects his present. On a rainy afternoon, Clara arrives again, but this time she is not alone. She is accompanied by a quiet, older man with observant eyes and an unassuming presence. His name is Julian Rivers, though Elias does not know that yet. Julian is a legendary food critic, famous for his ability to revive or destroy a restaurant. With a single sentence, he has not appeared publicly for years. Elias, unaware of his guest's identity, serves them both with the same attention to detail he once gave to presidents and royalty. He presents a bowl of simple stew, seasoned with skill, patience, and something more, heart. Julian takes a bite, then another. And then suddenly he stops. There is silence. His hand rests over his mouth. His eyes glisten. A single tear rolls down his cheek. He says nothing. He simply stands and prepares to leave, but before he walks away, he turns to Elias and asks in a voice heavy with emotion, "Do you remember the painted fork?" Elias's breath catches. His hands begin to tremble. The painted fork was his restaurant, his pride, his identity, and his greatest loss. In that moment, time stands still, because someone finally remembers who he was, and perhaps who he still might be. Overnight, Elias's life undergoes a profound transformation. Julian's article, titled "The Greatest Chef I Ever Forgot," is published and quickly gains attention. The story spreads across social media platforms, food blogs, and news outlets. People who had never noticed the homeless chef now flock to the street corner where Elias serves his meals. The sudden influx of visitors overwhelms Elias. He receives numerous job offers, invitations to food festivals, and even proposals for his own Netflix series. Despite the flood of opportunities and the promise of fame, Elias remains steadfast in his desires. He does not seek the spotlight or celebrity. What he wants is far simpler and more profound: dignity through his craft. Recognizing his true passion and purpose, a respected culinary foundation offers to fund a community kitchen, aptly named Elias's Kitchen. This space will not only provide food for the hungry, but also serve as a place where Elias can mentor young chefs, especially those coming from troubled backgrounds like his own. It will be a sanctuary for lost souls seeking hope and a second chance. In the final, emotionally charged scene, Elias stands before a group of young chefs. Their faces reflect hardship, pain, and uncertainty. Elias cooks with the same dedication and love that once earned him Michelin stars. As he serves them, he pauses and gently lifts the chin of one young boy. Looking into the boy's eyes, Elias says, "Your past does not decide your flavor." Those words hang in the air, an affirmation of hope, resilience, and the power of reinvention. They remind us that no matter how broken one's history might be, it does not dictate the brilliance of one's future. Elias's journey comes full circle, not in fame, but in purpose, in dignity, and in the ability to inspire others to believe. in themselves. Elias never returned to Michelin stars. However, he became something far more eternal, a flame that illuminated the forgotten corners of the city. He offered hope where only hunger had existed. He cooked like a man who had tasted loss and discovered flavor in forgiveness. And that food critic? He visits every Sunday, not to write a review, but to remind himself that brilliance can burn, quietly, even amid ashes. Elias proved that when the world laughs at you, all it takes is one bite to silence the noise and awaken the soul. If this story touched your heart, then share your thoughts in the comments below. And for more stories like this, do not forget to subscribe to the channel.